He was Dr. Vishveshwaraya. The University of Mysore, the first university in any Indian state, came into being in 1916, thanks to Vishveshwaraya's persistent endeavors. He also founded the Kannada Literary Academy. Vishveshwaraya always felt that industries were the mainstay of the progress and the prosperity of a nation. The Sandal Oil Factory was but one of the many industries introduced by him. Schemes for a host of other industries like soap, metalworks, chrome tanning and sericulture were developed through the Economic Conference, a planning commission for the state which Vishveshwaraya formulated. His diwanship in the state was marked by a single-minded devotion to the cause of the progress of Mysore state. Vishveshwaraya was connected with the Tata Iron and Steel Company for a number of years. It was perhaps this association that turned his thoughts to the exploitation of iron ore available in the state. With his characteristic drive and energy, he soon set up the Bhadravati Iron and Steel Works. After Vishveshwaraya retired from the office of Diwan, the Iron and Steel Works was in a bad state. The world price of iron had fallen. Experts advised the closing down of the enterprise. It was against this background that Vishveshwaraya was persuaded in 1923 to take over as chairman of the board of directors. He set about the task of rehabilitating the works with his usual zeal. Soon Bhadravati iron was selling in the USA at competitive rates. To this day, Bhadravati occupies an important place in the industrial map of the country. The remuneration he earned as chairman of the Iron and Steel Works for over 6 years, Vishveshwaraya turned over to the state government. Vishveshwaraya worked incessantly, preparing plans and schemes for the development of the country. He published several books and pamphlets. Waking or sleeping, he had only one thought in his mind: nation building. Vishveshwaraya travelled abroad several times. Wherever he went, his one consuming desire was to bring back technical know-how for the development of his own motherland. He gave his invaluable technical advice for the location of one of the colossal projects of recent times, the Ganga Bridge at Mokame in Bihar. He was past 90 when he undertook this work. His deep interest in the industrialization of the country led Vishveshwaraya to found the All India Manufacturers Organization in 1941. Its motto, prosperity through industry. He wanted manufacturers in the country to develop initiative and build new industries with the help of modern methods of organization. As the founder president of the organization, Vishveshwaraya still keeps in close touch with its activities and gives the organization the benefit of his rich experience and wise counsel. A grateful nation has heaped honors on a man who has served the country in so many spheres. Knighthood, degrees, honoris causa galore. When the centenary of his alma mater, the Central College in Bangalore, was celebrated, he was honored as the oldest and the greatest living alumnus. The highest honor that an Indian citizen could receive, the award of Bharat Ratna, came to him. In the citation, he was hailed as the father of the idea of planned development in India. But all these honors sit lightly on Vishveshwaraya's shoulders. Unaffected by all these, he lives today in his Bangalore home without a trace of ostentation. His devoted old secretary still assists him in all his work. Always meticulously punctual in his habits, Vishveshwaraya keeps himself busy and active, receiving visitors, holding discussions with them, attending social functions. For he thinks with Ulysses, how dull it is to pause, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life. The one motto of Vishveshwaraya throughout his life has been, work is worship. As this Karma Yogi enters his 100th year, we cannot do better than invoke the benedictions of our sages of yore. May we for 100 autumns see that lustrous eye God ordained arise before us. May we live 100 autumns. May we hear for 100 autumns. May we speak well for 100 autumns. May we hold our head high for 100 autumns. Yea, even beyond 100 autumns.